Hello and welcome to the Agri-Learn podcast. I'm your host, Raina Nalau, an emerging full-time commercial farmer, as well as the brand ambassador of the Women and Youth Loan Scheme at the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Now, today we're joined by Mr. Janu Riekert from the Roots Project here in Stamford. Mr. Janu Riekert, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
Please just briefly explain to us what you do right here at the Roots Project.
No problem. So my day-to-day is, at the moment I manage the abattoir at Roots. I manage the sheep, the semi-intensive system we have here, as well as the management information system that captures all the data of all the produce that we produce here on the project, from the tomatoes, the sheep, the chicken, whatever.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my briefly what I do here.
Oh, so you're extremely busy every day.
You can say so.
So that makes you one of the production managers right here at Roots.
Yes.
Wonderful. That's really great to know. Now, today we're talking all about intensive farming, right? But before we get right into it, what's your definition of intensive farming as well as extensive farming?
Okay, so let's start with extensive farming.
Right.
That's where your animals are free grazing in the fields.
Okay.
So they are not protected from external factors like the climate, predators, extreme heat, extreme cold.
Yeah.
So that's the dangers you have with extensive farming.
Yeah.
When you come to intensive farming, you have much more control over external factors.
Okay.
So you control the climate, you control the diseases much better. Predators are almost completely eliminated. So that's the biggest difference. It's basically the control you have over that, as well as for plants and animals. You also can control the feed and the quality of feed and nutrients that the plants and the animals get.
Wow.
So you have complete control over what they get for best production.
Wonderful. So you not only control your crops, but you also get to control your livestock as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Lucid explanation right there. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about the Roots Project.
Yes.
Which farming system is implemented on the Roots Project at the moment?
Okay, so let's first start with the sheep.
Okay.
The sheep that we do here, we actually follow a hybrid. So we follow a combination between the intensive and extensive. We just call it a semi-intensive.
Okay.
So what that is, the animals get time each day to go to planted pastures where they graze, but at night they come back.
Okay.
So they get some of the nutrients that they need from the pastures. We mainly plant barley and oats here for them.
Okay.
And at night they'll get some of the minerals that they don't get from the barley or the oats.
Okay.
So key minerals, and also depending on the type or the phase of production that mainly the ewes are in. Are they before they are pregnant, before the mating, before whatever, depending on what phase they are in, we give them a certain feed for that specific phase. Okay, so that's the sheep part. So we follow a semi-intensive system.
Okay.
With the poultry.
Before you move on, sorry for cutting you. You mentioned that you feed them oats and wheat.
Yes.
Most typical farmers feed them lucerne. If I'm not mistaken.
That comes in with the feed we give them at night.
Oh, okay.
So we also have a mixture of it's lucerne, maize, and molasses, and then also some minerals.
Okay.
Just like a lick, which have the key minerals in it. And as I said, depending on the phase, some of one phase requires more energy, one requires more protein. So you'll play around with the molasses, or the ratio of molasses, maize and lucerne, depending on the phase.
Wonderful.
So we also give the lucerne.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the poultry.
Okay, so the poultry we have here, we also use a hybrid system. We don't have the fully automated climate controlled coops at the moment. In the near future we would like to implement those as well, but at the moment we only have coops that are, there's two sizes, a 6 meters by 40 and a 8 meters by 40.
Okay.
So the smaller coop, we put in 3,500 chicks at placement day, and the bigger ones we do 4,500 till 5,000, depending on what time of year it is, because when it's warmer you have to put in less.
Okay.
Okay, so but to a certain degree we can also control the climate inside the coop. We have sides that can go up or down. We have gas heaters inside. We have a design here that we implemented ourselves for cooling, which almost works like a water cooler.
Wow.
So we also use a type of a hybrid system for the poultry. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now let's talk about somebody who's considering implementing an intensive farming system on their farm.
Yeah.
What aspects should they consider before implementing that system?
Okay. So yeah, there's quite a lot of factors.
I'm pretty sure there is.
But yeah, as it is in life, the biggest consideration is the capital available. So depending on what you want to do, there is a big capital investment. When we talk about the infrastructure for poultry, the coops we have at the moment for that size costs about 850 till 900,000, fully stocked with the equipment and whatever you need. But when you move to a climate controlled, fully automated, same size, you go to 2-3 million.
Wow. And the first one that's costing about 800,000, that's just manual.
Yeah, so it's much more manual. You have to take in the food manually, you have to check the water, you have to raise the sails, you have to start the gas heaters. So the other coops that are fully automated, they do it all automatically. They have temperature sensors, they have sensors in the feed, like in the buckets, that measure when it's done. Then it has a auger that takes the feed and fill up the bucket. So that's much less labor, but the capital it's quite high. 2-3 million, it's quite high.
That's a lot.
So the first thing you look at is your capital available. The second thing, which doesn't actually play a big role with intensive farming, is the type of soil or land you have available. The other thing, which is a must, is water. You must have a lot of it and good quality, for cleaning purposes, for obviously for the animals itself, or if you want to go with plants, your quality of water is so important. It doesn't, if you can have a lot of water available, but when it's brackish water or whatever, then you can't use it. Especially for plants, because they are so sensitive for the type of water that you use on them. So water, and then I'll say the last thing, which is a must that you must consider, is your location. How close are you to the nearest selling point?
Access to your market.
Access to your market, yes. So my opinion, that's the big things I'll look at before starting an intensive farming business.
Right. As a farmer myself, you know, I never really understood the significance of having your water tested to get, your water analysis or your soil analysis. Because I was like, you know what, we just gonna start. We've got a piece of land.
Just
Let's just start, with whatever it is that we can. But as you mentioned, it's very important that farmers actually get to have the water and the soil tested, so that when you get your analysis, what you're missing and what you're having. Is your pH balance right in terms of your water and so forth. So that's very important. Get your water and your soil analyzed to know what you're missing, what you have, in order to supplement it or complement it.
To
correct it.
To give it the needed nutrients.
Exactly.
And I think one of the biggest things is pH of the water, because the pH when it's in water, it eventually changes the pH of the soil.
Exactly.
So when your pH is above 7.8, then some of the nutrients is not available for the plant to take up, and then it becomes problematic. Because then when the plant needs phosphate, for example, it can't take it up. It's there, but it's not available for the plant. So pH is so important. So most plants prefer pH of between, I'll say, 5.5 and 6.5. That's your best pH for plants.
Wonderful. Right. Now let's talk about the scale of land size. At what scale of land size and what type of farming enterprises can be implemented on an intensive farming system?
So the good or the wonderful thing about intensive farming, it doesn't take up space. It
doesn't take up space.
It's compact. Let's say it's compact. It takes a tiny bit of space. That's why we focus on it here at Roots, because we're giving a 10-hectare plot to the owner, and 10 hectares, it is big, but you can't do 5,000 sheep externally. Obviously, within a week they'll eat up all the feed available for them. So we focus here on small intensive farming, and you can start from a hectare is big for intensive farming. You can, on 1 hectare, you can put up the sizes of chicken coops we have here. You can put up at least 4 or 5, I'll say. And these plots are 10 hectares. So you can just imagine you can put up a lot of coops. Regarding land size, it depends on how big you want to go, because you can be quite successful on a small piece of land. With intensive farming.
Awesome. All right, so we just briefly talked about the land scale of size. Now let's talk about the challenges faced in intensive farming. Just as there are challenges in extensive farming, what are some of the challenges that intensive farmers face?
Okay, so I'll say with intensive farming you eliminate all the external factors. But because you must now supply the water, the feed, you must make sure that no diseases get to the animals. You control the nutrients of the plants, whatever. So the biggest challenge you have with intensive farming is intensive management. You have to be there the whole time. You can't lift your finger from the farming you have there. You have to be there the whole time. Sometimes at night, 10 o'clock at night, the gas heaters goes off or whatever, then you must be there. It's a full-time job. It's not a 8 till 5. It's a full-time job. And the moment you lift your finger, then you start to lose control. So I think that's the biggest challenge. Luckily it's a challenge that you can control. You control it. So for me that's the biggest challenge.
So should one wake up and decide to become an intensive farmer, you need to make sure that you're there.
Yeah,
24/7,
committed.
Or
fully.
you have somebody committed
Yeah, yeah.
running your project.
But even if
yeah.
you as the owner
Yeah.
must also be there, check up on him.
Yeah.
Check up on whether it's your son, your daughter,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You must check up.
Yeah.
Because it's just so important.
Yeah.
One day, if the sheep, if they don't get water, or one day the tomatoes don't get water, it's you'll lose a lot of money. So you have to be there the whole time. Management, micromanagement, intensive management.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderfully said. We talked about the challenges. Let's talk about the benefits of intensive farming. What are they?
Okay, so again, I think I mention it a lot, but it's definitely the biggest benefit is the risk you eliminate. That's why you do intensive farming.
Yeah.
It's because of the risk you eliminate. You're not exposed to external factors like predators or temperature changes or whatever. So I think that's definitely the biggest benefit. When you do it well, there's also a financial benefit, definitely.
I'm pretty sure that's the one thing. I couldn't wait for that part.
Definitely when you do your job good, you manage it correctly, the financial benefits, it's there.
The return on investment.
That's why I think that's the two biggest reasons why you'll consider intensive farming instead of extensive farming. Is because of risk management, better risk management, and the gain you get financially.
Wow.
So,
awesome.
Brutally honest.
And that's what we want. And that's what we really, really want. So we are approaching the end of today's episode. But before I let you go, any final remarks to our viewers and listeners out there?
Okay. So I would definitely like to encourage more people to get involved in farming, because everybody has to eat. Everybody, doesn't matter whether you're a doctor, engineer, everyone has to eat. So someone has to provide the food for them. We being here in Namibia, we still have to get to a point of being food secured. So I would like to encourage, especially the younger generations, to get involved with agriculture, whether it's on a small scale or on a big scale. Maybe you don't know how to farm, come visit us at Roots. Soon we'll open an agricultural college as well. You can come and study agriculture, but also when you are fortunate enough to be in a family where agriculture, it is in the family, get involved. Go with your father, learn how to farm, get involved for us to make Namibia better. Yeah, that's my comments.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule to be part of this episode, and for allowing us to visit this amazing, do you guys see the view? Absolutely breathtaking. Thank you so much for
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, sure. we absolutely love it, and as you've heard, do take time from your busy schedule to come and visit the Roots Project and just see what they're up to. I'm pretty sure you'll be inspired to start up your farming venture. So until then, it's bye-bye.